Okay. We got real goats in the background. Probably can't even see it. But it is what it is. So, today I'm gonna have better posture. Yesterday I was like slouched back, and you could see in the last two videos. And like I looked at it, I was like, my fucking gut was like sticking out because I was just slouched out, and I looked horrible. But I released it anyways. I released the video anyways because I was like, okay, I can't do anything about that. I'm not gonna re-record it. I'm not gonna waste my time. That is ego speaking to me. But man, I hated seeing it. No, the old me would have just like said, nope, we're re-recording it. But I didn't do that. Literally made two videos about just releasing the work, and then I didn't want to release the work. I was like, no, I can't make something and then not release it. So I'll have better posture today. I was looking fucking weird and lazy and ugly yesterday. It says autofocus all the time, but okay, I'm just gonna sit still. This is where it's at. So yeah. Okay, so loved yesterday's. I just got a phone call with my buddy August, and he said he related so much to yesterday's content because it talked about releasing work, and it was something that, and I do love you, August, for calling and telling me that. I appreciate you like tuning in and watching the stuff that I'm creating. But yeah, August Rhodes. If you don't know him, go check him out. He has really incredible music, a very talented musician. We've made like 3 videos together. None of them are released. They've probably been done for some time now. I won't say how long, but definitely a great example of holding on to things when we should just release it. And so yeah, that's I think what we're talking about, these conversations that Rick is talking about, relate to everybody, not just myself. And so that's why I think it's such a wonderful book. Very easy to read. If you don't have it, check it out. It's The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. I almost will remember the title by the end of this. So we're on page 205. And I read 3 today. I'll probably cut them up into 2. Maybe the first 2 I'll leave like the last iteration. So we got the experimenter and the finisher, which is only like 1 page. So if I talk longer than 5 minutes, please like boo me in the comments. Temporary rules, and then greatness. So I love real goats, greatest of all time. Goats, greatest of all time. And so I think it's like a very proper, well-fitting video. Before we get started, thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you, Lord, for this opportunity to be great. Thank you for everything that you've given myself and those that are watching this. Please bless us. Please guide us. Please help us on our journeys. Allow us, the people that are watching this, to be fulfilled in their dreams, to be fulfilled in their goals and their achievements that they're searching for. Please give them guidance. Please give them reassurance. Please give them affirmations. Please reaffirm the fact that they are exactly where they're supposed to be, and every difficulty that comes their way, that they will be able to overcome those, and to remind them that they will overcome anything that you put in front of them. So thank you again, God, for this day to be different and to take a one step closer to our goals. Okay, so the experimenter and the finisher. Today he talks about the difference between the two. The experimenters are partial to dreaming and playing. They find it more difficult to complete and release their work. Experimenters are partial to dreaming and play, finding it more difficult to complete and release their work. Finishers are the mirror image, a backward reflection. They move quickly to the end with immediate clarity. They are less interested in exploring the possibilities and alternatives that the experimentation and craft phases can suggest. Each, though, may find it helpful to borrow from another. So yeah, I think if I had to choose who I am, I think I'm more of an experimenter than a finisher. I think I do finish the things that I commit to. I don't. It's very rare that I commit to something and I don't finish it. Meaning like anything I don't finish is like a personal project, I think. But I complete everything that anybody else has ever put in front of me. If I don't finish it, it's usually because it belongs to me. So, and I'm sure that's probably other people that are watching too. So, he says experimenters might benefit from taking an aspect of the work through to completion. It might be drawing a song or the chapter of a book, even making one foundational decision from which to build can help. So he's like trying to say like people that are experimenters just take a little bit at a time, try to finish something that's very easy, and again getting that routine that's just like completing something and putting out, completing something and putting out. It's kind of similar to what I'm doing with these videos here. Like before, I went with my education, I wanted to like build all this great B-roll. I wanted to give all these great interviews. I wanted to like really like fine tune the music underneath. I wanted to do all the great sounds and stuff like that because that's me as the experimenter creator wanting to provide something that I know I'm capable of. And I was doing it so much that it would take me forever. And then when I would release it, it's like, okay, well, no one even saw it versus like me right now, just making these pieces, talking about creativity, reading this book, and just putting it out in the world, like not caring. So I'm working on my habit of finishing. It says the finishers, people that are used to like just putting stuff out, might benefit from taking more time in the early phases, writing beyond the minimum requirement, and experimenting with other materials, considerations, and perspectives, allowing themselves space for improving and surprise in the process. So yeah, I mean, like I think I can relate to the finisher only in if I'm taking on a lot of jobs quickly and the deadlines are really quick. I literally had this conversation with an artist that called me up wanting to shoot on the 7th, and I was like, let me ask you something. Why do you guys wait so long? This is June 7th. It's May 28th right now, so only almost 10 days. Like I said, why do you guys wait so long? Like, let me know, what is it that there's so much of a rush to spend so much money quickly last minute. And that happens with people like labels and sometimes artists wanting to shoot last minute. So that's always confusing me. It's like wanting to spend a bunch of money so fast last minute versus like, because they just want to get it done, I think, and they know they need to get it done versus having a little bit experimentation to what he's saying, giving yourself time to really come up with good creative, think of alternative ideas, and then like allow the people that are going to produce to actually be able to find the things we need. A lot of times in productions, what you see is like not being able to find the right people or things or places. And so you're like spending all this money in cash, but yet like you're not getting the best options because you're rushing it. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he goes on to say, complete as many elements of the project as you can without getting hung up. It's much easier to circle back once the workload is reduced. Often the knowledge we gain from finishing the other pieces becomes a key to overcoming early obstacles. Yeah. Short chapter, 2 pages. Are you an experimenter or are you a finisher? Comment below. I know for sure that deep down I'm an experimenter. I do finish the things that I do with other people, but I do not finish my own personal projects as quickly. I take way longer than I need to. I'm writing my movie way longer than I need to, and I'm working on my educational stuff way longer than I need to, so I need to be more of a finisher there. Okay, so he talks about temporary rules, which is a really cool thing that I could kind of relate to here. He says that much of the artistic process involves ignoring rules, letting go of rules, undermining rules, and rooting out rules that we didn't know we were following. And then there is also a place for imposing rules, for using rules as a tool to define a given project. So this is interesting, because he has been saying to avoid them and not think about them. He starts to give examples of what he means, okay? He starts to talk about when there are no material, time, and budget constraints, you have unlimited options. When you accept limitations, your range of choices is reduced. Whether imposed by design or by necessity, it's helpful to see limitations as opportunities. So whenever we're like, dang, like I'm thinking of it like with people that don't have big budgets, that's actually a good thing sometimes to push yourself out of your comfort zone, knowing that you can't just go get this location, you can't go get this car, you can't just go get these people to help you create something. And now if you want to make something creative, it's all based on your logic and what you have going on with your ideas. So that is a restriction that you didn't put on yourself, but it creates cool limitations. So he starts to put it in regards to like other people and how people set limitations on their projects. They want to change something. He said this culling can help give new work its character and to set it apart from past efforts, with potential for groundbreaking results. Novel problems lead to original solutions. He gives some examples of like a filmmaker that like put a bunch of restrictions, like 10 restrictions on their film that they're about to produce. So he was like, shooting must be performed on locations. Sounds must be never produced, such as music that does not exist within the scene. All shots must be handheld. The film must be in color with no special lighting. If there's not enough exposure, a single lamp may be attached. There can be no optical work or lens filters. There could be no superficial action, such as staged murders, elaborate stunts. Geographical alienation is strictly prohibited, meaning the film must take place here and now. No genre movies. Academy 35 millimeter is the only accepted film format. Directors must not be credited. So he goes on to talk about how like this restriction helped him win the jury prize at the 1998 Cannes Film Festival. He made like a great film based off of these rules, and it allowed him to make something new. He says, while it's easy to make these changes, there's little use to rules if they are not taken seriously. So he kind of says like, okay, you can make the rules, but if you don't follow them, there's no point to it, you know? So I'll just finish it out, and then I'll give you an example of what I'll finish out the highlighted things that I did, and then I'll give an example of some times that I've used it in my own work. He says, set parameters that force you out of your comfort zone. Whatever you choose, decide on a framework that breaks your normal rhythm and see where it leads. Just by the nature of limitations you set the work, just by the natures of the limitations you set, the work will be different from what you've done before. It is of a little importance whether it's better. The purpose is self-discovery, which I thought is he's always like, what's really great about Rick's suggestions is always like trying to let you know like it's not a big deal if you don't achieve the things that you're trying to search for. It's more about the practice, the routine, and knowing that like you're going to have another shot, you're going to have another chance to create something, and to not take it so serious that you're not actually doing anything. It's like the action is more important than the thinking. He says, by breaking the rules, you'll come to have a greater understanding of your past choices. Okay, so I'll pull back a little bit. He says, you may not like the new form as much, but you probably learned something in the process that will improve. By breaking the rules, you'll come to have a greater understanding of your past choices. The next thing he says is, I'm just like trying to think of like why I highlighted that. What was my understanding for that? He goes on to say the energy of wonder and discovery can get lost when treading the same ground over and over again. So he's talking about whatever the case, the decision to limit your work to the familiar is a disservice to both you and your audience. So yeah, he's just like letting you know like, hey, try limiting things that you have and see what you do. So I'm gonna relate this to like something in the past and something currently that I'm doing. In the past, I remember I did that for a short film. I heard people doing that, setting rules for themselves. So I remembered like deciding when to use certain focal lengths. Like I'm always going to use this focal length for these scenes. I'm always going to use longer focal length for these scenes. And I put rules like that. I said in every frame there has to be red whenever we have like danger present in the scene or something happening. So there was always, it has to be some kind of red within it. We didn't use any lighting, everything, we didn't use any lighting not because we didn't want to, but we couldn't afford it, and we didn't have anything in the area. So everything that was lit in the film was done with natural lighting. So I was removing light and taking it away more than adding it, meaning I was closing windows. I was like, or closing or opening windows, closing or opening doors, like very minimalistic approach of lighting something. I'll take it back. I think we had like one LED panel, and there's only a few times that we were able to use it. But it was like a 1x1 cheap, like $100 one. I remember we did have one, but regardless, we didn't have money to rent large sources. So that was a very interesting limitation. We didn't have a Steadicam. We had tripod and shoulder handheld, and that was it. And I did what I could with it, and it was so fun to see myself trying to think through how can I add contrast, how can I make this scene dynamic by having nothing. So that's something from the past that I remember. In the present day, like I'm about to shoot a video tomorrow, and they wanted to do a run and gun. Like there was like, let's just do a run and gun. I don't want to do like setup stuff, and I don't want to have any lighting or anything. And I was like, okay. So I really thought about that over the last week or so, and it made me more excited. And I limited myself to 4 lenses: a 10, a 35, a 50, and an 85. And it's such a cool limitation, knowing that I'm only going to have 4 options to choose in terms of how I'm going to frame something. And I think I know when I will use those lenses already. And so that's really fun. There's no gimbal, there's no Steadicam. It's all handheld, tripod, and like rigged things. So it's all being rigged out on like a helmet cam, or on a snorri cam, or a car rig, or on a tripod, and then my hands. So the look of it is going to be pretty cool because I know that that's all I'm doing. And so, it makes it exciting, and to know that we're going run and gun. I have some ideas of what each scene is going to be, but I'm going to discover the framing more or less in the real time, in the moment, seeing what we want to do, and then choosing a lens, choosing my camera placement in real time versus like deciding it prior. And that's something that I used to do back early days of music videos. I would know where I was going to go, but I really didn't have a shot list. Sometimes like I would just like kind of show up and we would shoot a lot of cool stuff. So knowing that we're going with that approach, I'm taking everything I've learned from the past and applying it to real time, knowing that I need to be very present in the moment of shooting this, and I can't be distracted. So I've been practicing with my photography using limited lenses, 35, 50, and 85. And knowing that, okay, this time I think I'm gonna shoot everything 85, and moving my feet. If I want a wide shot, I gotta move back. If I want something close, obviously I can move in. And when I go to 35, it's easy to get a wide shot, but then it's harder to get something close. So the looks of everything are completely different, and there's a feeling to it. So it's really fun to have been practicing that already, and then to tell myself, okay, this is how I'm gonna approach this video. Pay attention, get good exposures, pay attention to natural lighting more, and yeah, make it happen. So I'm excited. Okay, so let's see here real quick. I don't even know what the time is on this thing. I don't know the time. I have no clue. I have no clue what the time is. So how about this? I'll save the greatness video for the next one. Let's make it short. Let's make it a short one. Recapping again. Real. Let's make it just a tad bit long. Recap: the experimenter and the finisher. Which one are you? Temporary rules. If you're looking to spice up a new project that you have coming up, set some rules, some limitations, and make something new based off of it. And again, he's trying to say, don't worry whether or not it's better than things you've done in the past. Just know that it's going to be different just because you set limitations, and that's going to push you to make something new, something fun. From past chapters, he's like, hey, if everyone likes it, then you're not creating something unique. You're not pushing yourself. You're not being innovative. So it's okay if not everybody likes what you're doing. So kind of use that as example. I texted my buddy David yesterday, and I was like, damn, I guess I'm gonna have to make shit that people hate now. So it was a very fun way to think. So yeah, get out there, make sure you shoot. Check out the next video. It's gonna be about greatness. We're all great, so I hope I see you there. Comment, share. Thank you for watching. Till next time.